Hello, my name is Thiago Soares, and today I will introduce to you the new TRIRIGA Room Search add-in for Outlook. What is this new Room Search add-in? This is just a simple UX application that you can open in a side panel in your Outlook client. You can both use the Outlook on web or the native Outlook client on Windows or Mac. And through that add-in, you can search the rooms on TRIRIGA and check their availability and add one or more rooms to a meeting invitation. You can visualize the result search in a list, or you can also visualize that in a graphical floor plan. The differentiation between this room search add-in and the search that you have already in the Outlook is that in the room search add-in you have multiple criteria. You can specify the buildings or the city, the properties, the amenities, the room layouts, and also you can check the floor plan, the localization of the room in a floor plan. Before using the new add-in, you need to make sure that your TRIRIGA server is integrated with an Exchange server. We have a documentation on how to do that, but before using the add-in, you need to make sure that you have this integration in place. The minimal TRIRIGA version needed to run this is 10.6.1 for the application and 3.6.1 for the platform. You need to make sure that you have the latest Outlook client installed. The add-in make use of some Outlook APIs that are not available in old Outlook clients, so make sure that you have the latest one. And also the add-in API is only supported on the latest Exchange servers. So if you are using the cloud version of the Outlook 365, you are okay. But if you are using the on-premise Exchange, you need to make sure that you are using the latest Exchange server version. To use the room search add-in, you need to be member of at least one of the groups listed here. And also you need to have at least one of the licenses that give you access to the add-in. It's a long list, so you can just pause and check if you want. To install the add-in, we have two options. It can be installed by the Exchange administrator, or it can be installed by the Outlook user. But before doing that, you need to verify if the external front-end server property is set on your TRIRIGA web.properties. Usually that is done by the TRIRIGA administrator. If that property is not set, you need to set it to a URL that the user can access the TRIRIGA from the internet. And make sure that URL use the HTTPS protocol, because that is a requirement from the Microsoft Outlook. To install the add-in on Outlook, you need to inform the manifest file that describes that add-in, and that is an XML file. And for the TRIRIGA Room Search add-in, you can get that manifest using the URL described here. Now I will demonstrate to you how the Exchange administrator can install the add-in. He can do that for everyone or for just some users, and I also demonstrate to you how the end Outlook user can also install it. To install the Room Search add-in, the first thing we need to get is the Room Search add-in manifest. So that manifest is available on this URL on your TRIRIGA server, /p/web/outlook manifest and room search. And this will give you the complete XML file that describes the room search add-in, you can just copy and go to your Exchange Administrator console. Now I am in the role of the Exchange Administrator that we install the TRIRIGA add-in for all the users on the organization. So I need to go to my Exchange configuration console. In this example, I am using the Outlook 365 Administration Center, but similar steps applies to the Exchange on-premise. You need to find the option to add the add-ins in the Microsoft 365. You need to go to Settings, Services and Add-ins, and you need to click this Deploy Add-in. It will give you a panel on the right, and you can click Next. We are deploying a custom add-in. The TRIRIGA add-in is not available on the store. So I can click to upload custom apps and say that you have the URL and just paste it here. Paste the TRIRIGA URL pointing to the TRIRIGA room search add-in manifest. Click upload. And after that, you can configure which users will have access to that and how they will have access to the add-in. So I can say that I want to install for everyone or just some users or groups. And I can also specify the deploy method, saying that it is fixed, installed for everybody, or it's just available or optional. So after that, you select the persons and the users and the deploy method. You can click deploy, and that add-in will be available for the users. The other option is I am the Outlook user, so I'll switch the Outlook. I can go to my Outlook client on web or my the native Outlook client on Windows or Mac. I can go to my calendar. These steps is different depending on the Outlook client that you use. So in this case, I am using the Outlook web for the Outlook 365. But if you want to do that from your Outlook client, there is different steps. You can check on Microsoft documentation. Here, I can click on new event. When I click these three dots, it will show the add-ins that I have available for me, the ones that were installed by the administrator. And if I click get more add-ins, it will open for me a list of add-ins that I can select from the store, or I can select my add-ins and scroll down and go to the custom add-ins and click add add-in. I can add from URL, and I can just paste it here, the URL, and click OK. It will give a warning. You can just click install. And after that, the room search is available on your Outlook. If I close this panel and go back to the calendar, now I have the room search add-in here. If I click it, it will open the add-in on the right side of the meeting invitation. After installing the add-in, you can start using it to search for rooms. So the first use case is when you are creating a single occurrence meeting that will just take place in one day. You open the add-in and you need to add at least one location filter. The location can be a city, a property, or a building. And you can add multiple buildings, search in multiple locations, also filter by room layout, room capacity, amenities. And after that, the add-in will display all the rooms that are available on the date set on the meeting invite. And that's what I will demonstrate to you now. So we have here my Outlook open, and I am creating a new calendar event for a single occurrence meeting that never repeats. So I set the date and time for my meeting. And initially the room cert add-in will not display any room in the, and don't have any filter. So I need to click the add filter. I need to search for a location. The location can be a city, a property, or a building. After I select, for example, a city, it will give me the hierarchy of the city properties and buildings on that city. At São Paulo, for example, we have 2 properties and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings. And I can select, for example, more than one building like Matarazzo and Ferrari Tower. And also I can filter by the room layout, or I want to see only the room that have, for example, catering available, and I apply filters. And after that, it will display to me a list of rooms that attend my search criteria, and also is available on the date that I set on my Outlook meeting. So I have one room available on this building and floor, and also here, but I don't have any room available on the Ferrari Tower, probably because there no room there has the catering available. So if, for example, I remove this, it will automatically update the result of the rooms available based on the new criteria set. And probably now I also can see the rooms available on the Ferrari Tower, for example. You see that also on Matarazzo I have more rooms, and I can expand by floor. It is grouped by city, buildings, and floors. So I can expand by floors here and check the available ones for each one. If I want to check the availability of one set of rooms in a floor plan, I can click the floor. It will open to me a pop-up containing displaying the available rooms and the location. So I have 4 in this case. If I click it, display the details of that room, the capacity, the room layout, the room amenities, and etc. I can close it. I can close that one. If I want to see more information from a specific room, I can just click it, the card, and it will open a pop-up with more information from that room and the location of the floor plan, if the floor plan is available. In this case, the floor plan is not available. But if I click in a room that has a floor plan like this, it will display the location of that room on the floor plan. I can expand the floor plan to have a bigger vision of it. I can zoom to a specific point and pan. I can close it. It is showing only available rooms. If I change, for example, the meeting date to a weekend, like today I selected a day in Thursday, but if I change that to Saturday, it will automatically update and display only the rooms available on the Saturday. So I have only 3 rooms now. And also now I have the option to see the unavailable ones. So if I click here, it will display the rooms that we have on that building and floor, but it's not available on the time that you selected on the meeting. Like this room is not available. And also if I click the floor, and the floor has a floor plan, it will display to me the list of available and unavailable rooms on that floor plan. If I select the red one, I cannot click the button to add it, but if I click in one that is green, for example, I can add. So let me switch back to a weekday, like Thursday again, and it will show me the rooms that are available, and I can select any room like this one. When I click add room, it will display that room on the location field of the meeting, and also here on the added meetings section of my adding. Also it will add a link to the TRIRIGA to see that room location on the floor plan. I can also add that room directly from here, from the Outlook. So I can search for it and click and select, and the room adding, it will detect and automatically show that room as added here. And at this point, no reservation on TRIRIGA was created, so we are just searching for rooms that are available and adding it to the Outlook invite. And when I click send, that's the moment that invitation will be sent to TRIRIGA, and TRIRIGA will create the reservation for those rooms. Now that we searched and added one or more rooms to our meeting, we can send this meeting. So we can add a title, just for an example, room search adding introduction. I can place one more attendees. Now when I send this, go the path to the server, to TRIRIGA server, and the TRIRIGA server will create the reservation for those rooms. And after the reservation is created on TRIRIGA, I will receive an email confirming that the rooms are reserved to me. So let's switch to our mailbox, and probably now we should see an email from the server confirming that he has accepted that room for this meeting. We can also check it on TRIRIGA itself. So I can open the TRIRIGA, go to requests, my calendar, and I can see that the reservation is created. So I can just click it here, open, and it's showing the 2 rooms that I reserved on that day. So everything is working as expected. Now let's try to create a recurring meeting. So I'll select Monday and click on new event. I'll set the time to 10 a.m. and I will say that this meeting will repeat every day for 2 weeks until the end of the year. And I save. Now when I open the room search adding, it will display the rooms that are available, that has at least one occurrence of the series is available. It will show the room as available. And we have this on the room image, we have a panel informing how many occurrences of the series this room is available. In this case, we have a room that is available 12 of 16 occurrences. So if I change it here to another, let's search our rooms in São Paulo. We have another example of a room that is available 12 occurrence, and we have another one that is available audio occurrence 16 of 16. I can add the room even if it's not available all audio occurrence of the series. So I can click this room, add. I can give it a title. And I can click send. I can see all the meetings on my calendar. Now I just need to wait for TRIRIGA server to process this invitation and send me the confirmation of the reservation for the days that I requested. Let's now switch back to our mailbox. I can see that the TRIRIGA server initially it accepts the meeting for the AMAPA room for our occurrence on the series, but after that it declined the reservation for the occurrence on Saturday and Sunday. So we have 2 weekends that were declined. So we have 4 declinations. If I go back to my calendar, I can see that it is confirmed here, but when I go to the weekends, the room declined, so I don't have the reserve for that room on that day. What I can do is I can click edit the occurrence that the room is declined at this event, and I can open the room search, remove the one that is unavailable, that is the AMAPA for this day, and try to search for a room that is available, like this one, for example. And I can click send. So now I handled the exception. So I have an exception on my recurring meeting. For the whole series, I am reserving the room AMAPA, but for one occurrence, I change it to use a different one. So I am using this room here. Probably if I go to my mailbox, it says that now it's accepted my change. If I switch to my calendar on TRIRIGA, I can check that I still have 3 exceptions, 3 reservations declined, but the one in Saturday that I changed it is marked as accepted, but we using a different room. After you have sent a meeting invitation, how can you add a food order or a equipment service order? What you need to do is to add an existing calendar event and open the room search add-in. If there is a reservation on TRIRIGA associated to this meeting invitation and the user is the organizer, and the requester of the reservation. Then the add-in will display an edit reservation button at the bottom of the panel. By clicking that button, it opens the associated reservation in the UX Room reservation app. And from there, you can add food and equipment service orders. I will demonstrate now how to do that. Here I have my calendar and I can see all the meetings that I have on my calendar. Let's open the first one that we created. That is a single occurrence meeting. So I click it and click edit. Now, if I open the room search add-in, because this calendar event was organized by me, and on TRIRIGA, my user is set as the requester of this reservation. I can, when I open this, I will see this edit reservation button. If I click it, it will open the associated reservation on the UX Room reservation app. And from here, I can change some stuff. You can see that there is indication that this was created on Outlook, so I cannot change the core information of the reservation from here, but I can add equipment and food orders to each room that I reserved. So if I want to add an equipment to this one, I can just click here and add, for example, a high resolution projector. Or to another one, I can click the food order and click done. So I can start the order for equipment and food from this application, and I have a direct link from my Outlook. When I open the room search, I have the link, so I just click it here and you direct me to the reservation so I can change it. During this presentation, I opened the room search add-in, and you notice that it never asked me for my TRIRIGA user and password. And that happened because the add-in can perform an on-time authentication into TRIRIGA. And it will request the user and password only the first time you open the add-in. So if the first authentication is successful, your Exchange user will be bound to the TRIRIGA user that you used, and the next time you open the add-in, it will automatically authenticate you into TRIRIGA. You don't need to inform your user and password again. Let me demonstrate that. Now we are back to our Outlook web client. Let me create a new event. This time I have cleared the association between my Exchange user and my TRIRIGA user. So now when I try to open the add-in, it will request my user and password. That's what happened when the user tried to log in for the first time. And if I inform my user and password and the authentication is successful, in that moment, TRIRIGA will create an association between the TRIRIGA user and the Exchange user. So the next time you try to log in to open the add-in and you are logged into the Exchange with the same user, the add-in will not request you the user and password and will log in you automatically. So if I close it here and click it again, it will never ask me for user and password again. If you want to remove this binding between the exchange and TRIRIGA users, you can go to TRIRIGA, logging into it using your TRIRIGA user. After that, you can go to Portfolio, People, My Profile. When the My Profile opens, you can go to the My Profile tab. On the My Profile tab, there is a section named My Profile Extension, and that has the token that makes the binding between your TRIRIGA user and the exchange user. You can select it and click Remove. After that, you can just save and close. Now, if you sign out from here and go back to your Outlook client and try to open again the room search add-in, it will request your username and password again. For more information about how to use the add-in and how to configure it, you can access our wiki page. Here is the link. And that's it for today. I hope to see you the next time.